Hi, my name is Isla Gaelic, and I'm going to show you how to add a shade map or ambient occlusion map on top of a texture file to retexture your walls in a mesh house in Second Life. You would have to have the ambient occlusion provided by the house maker, um, and a lot more people are offering this option on houses because people have been saying they want to be able to retexture their walls. So you start out by either using Photoshop or GIMP. It's either your choice. Photoshop is a very powerful tool, but GIMP is also free. So I use Photoshop, so this tutorial will use Photoshop. And just open a new file. There are a lot of different choices you can choose for texture sizes or the file size in Second Life. 512 by 512 is kind of the norm. It's what most people use. It offers the best resolution versus lag. If you're going to be texturing a lot of walls on the same file, if there's maybe 3 walls on the same texture file, it might be a better idea to use 1024 by 1024, but keep in mind the more 1024 textures you have, the more texture lag you'll have. So because this is just one wall, we'll just use 512. All you need to do is just drop your wall file. I've prepared this one in advance, but you can use any pre-done wall texture file. This particular one is from Distress Textures. There are a lot of texture makers in Second Life and on the internet that offer the availability for you to download them to your computer, so just keep in mind you can't share them. They're for your own use only. And then all you have to do is drop the texture the ambient occlusion on top of the texture. In this particular map, the top half isn't used, it's just the bottom half. You can see that with the lighted area. Some will utilize the whole space, so just keep in mind what type or what the area is that you're using. At this point, all you have to do is change the layer type to multiply, and you can see it's already added the shading on top of the prepared wall texture file. And then you can change the opacity to sort of suit how much shading you want, if you want it lighter or darker. And then at this point, all you have to do is save it. Go to Save As, and then you will type in your file name, so wall texture. And then a good idea for SL is to save in a 24-bit Targa. That's going to be the best resolution. Some people prefer to save JPEGs. That does have some loss though in texture resolution. If you save as a PNG, you can, if you don't save it the proper type of PNG, if you don't flatten your image, it will have alpha flicker. So it's a good idea to stick away from PNG if you don't understand how to do that. Just hit save and then make sure it says 24-bit Targa. Now you're going to go into SL and just go to the upload window, and you're going to go to your wall texture, hit choose, and then upload that, and it will go into your inventory in your texture file, and then you just literally drag and drop it onto the wall, and that's your wall texture done. You can do it with any sort of wall texture. It doesn't matter where it's from or what type it is, but that is the basic of how you create a wall texture with a baked in shadow.